Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our Chanchi for Asia. I'm back here in Gulf Forest. Just got back a couple of days ago, and I'm glad to see you, all of you, here again. We resume in the class here. One exception, though, next week, next Friday, the temple has to go to funeral service. I have to go to funeral service in San Diego. And therefore, we're going to have to cancel all the classes next Friday. The traffic is very bad between LA and San Diego, and therefore, I don't think we're going to get back in time, okay, in the afternoon, okay? And so I apologize for that. So next week, you have another week off for the Asia Chan class. All right. Let's see. Also, another announcement this weekend, we are celebrating the Vesak, a very big deal for us. This is one of the reasons why I arranged our travel plans to make sure we're back here to celebrate Vesak in the U.S. And so, if possible, please join us. And those of you who can do it online, it's okay too. So we're gonna have a Buddha bathing ceremony at here in Northern California at both Gulf Force and at DTT. We have two branches here, and our philosophy is to take care of the local people. And so I'll be in DTT on Sunday as usual. And go for us here. There's some people who prefer to be here, or they can't go very far. They can't go to San Francisco. And therefore, we also have the bathing ceremony here for them as well. As far as Los Angeles, we're going to have the ceremony, bathing ceremony at WMT as well. So all of you are welcome to join us. The Buddha, Vesak is a big deal for us because we want to show our gratitude for our fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Muni Buddha. He came to our world, underwent a lot of suffering, incredible suffering. And that's how he showed us how to accomplish Buddhahood. To become a Buddha, you need to go through phases. For most of us, like the Buddha, demonstrated with his life story, we are confused. And therefore, we need to have a process to help untangle the knots. The knots represent the confusion in our minds. The nature, our confusion is very multidimensional. And the Buddha says, it's if you look at it, the ordinary people, because of their lack of wisdom, they would not know how to untangle the mess. Because we all have limitations with our time here on this earth. Right now, the average lifespan is about 60 years on the average. In the U.S., it's probably a bit longer now, but in lesser developed countries, it's shorter. It's a lot more dangerous for them. And so with this short lifespan here, we just simply don't have enough time to untangle all the knots, all the mess in our mind that has been accumulating, has been forming since beginningless time. That's how severe the nature of the confusion is. And therefore, if you're an ordinary person, you really totally are a victim of your own delusions. You make it worse for yourselves. Okay, that's what happened to me in my prior life. Life became more and more confusing. I became more and more unhappy. In particular, more and more sick. It's not until after I shaved my head and I quickly realized my body was very, very sick. Okay, I started practicing, and my liver issues showed up almost immediately. Okay, and when I started cultivating intensively, the first year in my career with the Master Hsuan temple was basically working. Okay, I could sneak around for about 2 hours a day to do my recitation, my meditation. As a novice, we were not allowed. We were not given time to meditate. Okay, actually, in Master Hsuan's time, when he was still alive, the novices couldn't meditate at all. They worked. But because I had some meditation skills, I could meditate very long. I sit for a very long time in full lotus. They allowed me to meditate. They wouldn't touch me. But typically, for novices under Master Hsuan, they could not. So I meditated, but only 2 hours a day, which is a lot for novices, even for the ordained monks and nuns. Many of them do not meditate 2 hours a day. And so, so the first year is work, and then I had a chance to start practicing more intensively, like several hours a day or more. Because at the time, I managed, actually the first 2 years, and then after that, I managed to force my way into Long Beach Monastery, and I was under the excuse of helping train the young novices, the so-called future of Mahayana generation. They're about 9 to 10 years old to 17 years old. So I went down there for 2 years and assisted the program manager in sort of like babysitting those kids who were practicing. They were being trained as per Master Hsuan instructions. And I, even at the time, I was a novice, but I was old. Therefore, I was allowed to supervise them, babysit them practically. And what I learned from there, the Dharma, some of the Dharmas I learned, like the 42 hands and eyes, are like I watched it on the side as it was being transmitted to the kids. I watched it on the side so that I would know how to supervise their recitations, their practices. That's how I encountered 42 hands and eyes. And so on their side, it was never officially transmitted to me, okay? But I was able to practice. However, later, then I realized that it's funny how circumstances manifest themselves. I realized that the reason I never received transmission for the 42 hands and eyes directly from Master Hsuan's source is because I have my own. He's there to help remind me of the Dharma. Okay, every time you're born again, you have to relearn. Okay, you have to relearn you start from square one here in the Saha world. Very much like Master Hsuan, when he was transmitted the number 6 hand from the 6th patriarch when he was a kid. Then Master Hsuan later had to fly to the heavens, probably to Maitreya Bodhisattva, to receive the rest of the hands and eyes. Okay, and so his path is different. Okay, But mine was to be reminded of the dharmas through him. And that's so that and really, and then later I realized that's the nature of my relationship with Master Hsuan Hua. He's there to remind me of the lot of dharmas that we learned together already. Okay, so he's never had to transmit the dharma to me because it was transmitted to me already in the past. Okay, so that's what I like about Master Hsuan Hua. He has integrity. So what you learn from him is true and actual dharma. He's not trying to impress people, to scam people, like ordinary people like Elon and so forth. Big scammers. Master Hsuan Hua never scam anyone, okay? Except he conned me a little bit. Because otherwise I would have never, ever wanted to be a monk. And to be honest with you, after all this time, I'm grateful to him for conning me. Sometimes when you're so confused, you have to be scammed. I think that maybe that's also what Elon is believing as well. The difference is that Elon is an idiot, and Master Hsuan Hua is a person with great wisdom. So be careful. Don't scam people. Okay? Do not con people. The people who have wisdom do it out as an expedient. Okay? We do it because we want to hurt ourselves without realizing it. We after nonsense. Okay? So that was the nature of my relationship with Master Hsuan Hua. And Confucius has a saying, says if someone is a master for one day, then you owe that person forever. And that's how I feel about my late Chinese teacher. I owe him forever. Okay, so that's why it's one of the reasons why I don't intend to retire, like losers who would retire. Okay, I will continue to work until my last breath, like Master Hsuan Hua did. Okay, so the best way to praise and show your gratitude to someone is to emulate them and try to continue their work. All right, or maybe enhance their work, the nature of their work a little. Okay, and so that's it's. Overall, I feel I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful relationship with Master Hsuan Hua, my Chinese teacher. And now it's my time. So in my very limited capacity, my limited resources, I'm sharing with you what I have, what I know. And so we building our American Mahayana. I call his Chinese Mahayana because I'm old enough now. Don't have a whole lot of time left, so I cannot afford to beat around the bush anymore, unlike the prior 17 years of my practice, okay, of my work. And so I'm gonna put my foot down and spell out more clearly for you some of the differences between us, American Mahayana, American Weiyang, as compared to the Chinese Mahayana and Chinese Weiyang that he brought to the United States. All right, so make no confusion and make no mistakes about that. Okay, his side is Chinese Mahayana, and from my perspective, our side is American Mahayana. Any questions about that? Okay, but the reason why I call it American Mahayana is because I feel, number one, the Chinese Mahayana is geared to help those, train those who have no good knowing advisors. They lack a bona fide good knowing advisor. What is a good knowing advisor? A good knowing advisor is a person that you talk to. It's not a person who hides, like a patriarch who hides. Okay? And that's, as long as you're a good knowing advisor, you don't have a good knowing advisor, then the Chinese style of Mahayana works very well for you. You stick to the Chinese patriarchs, their training style is right. For example, later in the prologue discussion, I will illustrate that point for you casually, okay, by going over the materials on the Chan school, the Chan style of training that Master Hsuan Hua explained. Okay, we started last time about over a month ago, and I'm going to go over it quickly again, and then I will explain to you some of the differences. And so again, the Chinese style of Chan, Mahayana, especially Chan training, to me is too Chinese. It works very well for them because it's, again, designed for the Dharma ending age, where there's no more competent, good known advisor, and therefore you should follow their instructions, the instructions of the great patriarchs. In Chinese Buddhism, not all patriarchs are great patriarchs. What are the great patriarchs? I don't know them all. It's before my time. I wasn't born. But some of the great patriarchs are in Chan. Great Master Bodhidharma, we know that. The sixth patriarch, and so forth. And recently, I would categorize Master Hsuan Hua as a great patriarch, albeit that he's not the same caliber of the Bodhidharma or the sixth patriarch. Okay, difference, for example, between Master Hsuan Hua and sixth patriarch is that the sixth patriarch specializes in teaching the certain Dharma. Master Hsuan Hua did not. Maybe it's because his disciples are not qualified to receive the certain Dharma. Okay, so he never talked much about it. Okay, but however, as far as with the recent Chinese patriarchs like Master Xu Yun and going back and so forth, I feel that there aren't that many great patriarchs. Like the current patriarch is sort of like a caretaker. That's why Master Hsuan Hua left behind all the instructions that I followed. Okay, so that's a foundation for us to practice without a good known advisor. Okay, and so what happened is Master Hsuan Hua, that's why I consider him to be a great patriarch, because his instruction is so good compared to Master Xu Yun, or going back and back and back, and then further in the past. And then furthermore, Master Hsuan Hua is very good at explaining sutras. For example, his explanation of the Shrangama Sutra is a masterpiece. I haven't seen in the other so-called Chinese monks or patriarchs. Okay, and his understanding of the Avatamsaka Sutra is outstanding. Okay, so I feel that he's a great patriarch in my books. One of his flaws is I feel his Chan teachings are could be better. Okay,